Oh boy, here we go. Non-farm Friday coming in hot tomorrow. Well, first of all, definitely not the short squeeze we talked about in last night's video. That's all right, though. It's not easy making predictions on these videos, as you can imagine. Most important thing, had a pretty darn good day this morning in the trade room. Hope you guys made some money out there as well. And looking forward to tomorrow. We have, a big move down the entire session today and a beautiful trading range to finish up the afternoon this afternoon. We have so many ways to make money. Big move into a trading range, so many ways. Whether you're a bull or a bear, I'm going to give you guys an easy roadmap to find lots of winning trades to finish up the week with a bang tomorrow morning. So enough of the intro. Charts are ready. Let's jump in and finish up the week with some more green tomorrow. Nasdaq triple Qs are all ready. As you can see, the E-mini and the SPY is ready. I have three very important clues on the charts in front of us that are telling us where I think the winning trades are waiting for tomorrow. One of those big clues is right here on these 60-minute, these hourly, these higher time frames. We have a big move down on the S&P SPY, big move down, Nasdaq, triple Qs. You could definitely tell the bears have all the momentum on their side right now. But look where we are right now. We're sitting at major low support on the S&P SPY, major low support right at the bottom of that big expanding triangle on the Nasdaq. We're definitely very bearish right now, but this might not be the easiest place to be a seller, sitting at major lows on both the Nasdaq and the S&P. That's one of three very important clues on my radar for tomorrow. I have two more clues we'll talk about here in a moment. Help us wrap this all together and find some buy and some sell trades for tomorrow. Before we dive into that though, let's check schedule for tomorrow, because tomorrow is, no, it's not your average Friday. I have three things on my mind for tomorrow. First things first, arguably the biggest news of an insanely busy week this week is the employment number coming out at 8:30 Eastern time. You can easily say this is the climax of all the news this week. Later on in the morning tomorrow, second thing on my radar, ISM manufacturing. By itself, that ISM number could be a huge market mover as well. So a great 1-2 punch tomorrow morning, 8:30 and 10 o'clock Eastern time. And don't forget, third thing in my mind, tomorrow's a Friday. I try to get in as early as I can on Friday mornings when markets are liquid, when I'm at my best, and markets love to run on Friday afternoons. So I always like to leave a little piece open on a runner within Friday afternoon. So employment number tomorrow morning, ISM number tomorrow morning, Friday mindset, getting in as early as I can and leaving those runners into Friday afternoon. That's my radar for tomorrow's news events. Let's get back to our charts though. I have two what I think are just as important clues here right now on some faster time frames. Let's drill down to our tick charts right now. Look at that big move down right into those key areas of support here. I love to use these hourly charts for a bigger picture look, but they're not going to help us time the entries for tomorrow. Let's go check out some tick charts right now. All the time frames, these are all tick charts. They're all upper left-hand corner, and that yellow line right there, that is the only indicator we need to find winning trades. It's the 21 EMA. There are two more important clues right now on the tick charts. One big clue is the size of that move down. This thing literally gapped down and closed right near its lows here. Now, why is that a big clue? Well, because whenever I see a big move like this, I don't want to sell low, right? I don't want to sell low. I want to sell high. Write this down. Anytime you see a big move in one direction, you expect a two-legged pullback and a retest of that low. Why a two-legged pullback? Because we need to get this thing up high enough to attract in more sellers at a decent price to sell. The next clue might be the most important clue we have on the chart. And if you know me, you know how much I love range markets, right? There's a beautiful range right here in front of us. Now, why are ranges so important? Well, first of all, because ranges act like magnets and they love to rotate back and forth, back and forth. What we'll do is we're going to use things like megaphones or expanding triangles. We're going to use things like pendulum swings, the amount above, the amount below, the amount below, the amount above. stuff. Ranges love to rotate. So I mentioned earlier, there are so many ways to structure good entries in these situations. I have 5. I want to keep it as simple as I can tonight. I don't want to go too overcomplicated. I have 5 trades I'll be watching for tomorrow, because let's face it, with the big news tomorrow morning, first day of the month, nobody knows what's going to happen. We never know what's going to happen. All we can do is trade the chart in front of us. So let's talk about a couple of my favorite trades for tomorrow. That way, again, whether you're a bull or a bear, you'll have a roadmap to make some money as well. Now, we should want to rotate going higher here right now. While we're rotating going higher, we're so bearish. That's one thing fighting against me to be a buyer down here. This is a horrible place to be a seller, right? I wouldn't want to sell down here because we're so low. I know we're pretty bearish right now, but you don't want to sell down here, right? So this is where that crown reversal pattern we love so much comes in handy. Imagine now we see rookies trying once to go lower, rookies trying twice to go lower. Now watch this pattern, higher high in price, get right below that low, nice strong green candle. All their stops are going to be triggered as it rolls higher. I want that 1 try for the bears, 2 try for the bears, strong green candle closing above the moving average. It's basically a bear trap pattern. I call these crown reversals in our trade room. Now, where does the market want to go right now? It wants to rotate back to the other side of that triangle, the amount below, the amount above. That becomes our target. Now, this is where all of that key support comes in handy, because we've been bullish overall for months and months and months and months. We know this already. This momentum off that low is going to want to squeeze, right? It's going to want to squeeze and punch and run higher, and we'll talk about that in a moment. And this momentum off that low will make it very difficult to pick a top up here. Is this a good place to be buying? I would argue no. Not with all this big move down today. Again, 2-legged pullback, retest of that low. It may end up becoming a good place to buy if we continue. We'll talk about that in a moment. But this is not enough yet to be a buyer. Now what I'll do is see if I can trap some rookies chasing it higher. Buyers try once, lower low. Buyers try twice, right above that high. I want that strong red candle now closing below that moving average, and we run this thing back down again. The most important thing, please pay attention, is in these situations, I want to buy underneath swing lows. I want to sell above swing highs. They need to be traps. Traps are likely where the money is made in these situations. Now, what do you think? The market now at this point, right, it wants to rotate where? Back down again. So keep those runners at the edges of those ranges. We run down, bears once, bears twice, trap them back in again, buying those bear traps like I teach inside the free video course. Now, what do you think? We may get that squeeze running higher, and this thing may keep on going. You can always tell whenever we get a range breakout, whenever we start separating off the moving average and we break through the pendulum swing. If we get this thing now, if this thing starts to swing off of this low and punches up and begins to separate or holds and jumps, if we get that big breakout that exceeds that pendulum swing and keeps on going, now I can be a buyer. Now we have that convincing breakout of that trading range. But here's the problem. Now I'm too high to buy right now. What do you do in these scenarios? Well, now this range is your best friend. Now we look left, find these prior highs over here, and we start trying to buy a breakout pullback. Now, breakout pullbacks are very easy. You want to think about a 2-legged pullback. 1 leg, 2 leg. Think about a measured move, right? A measured move. Now, I don't know how far that pullback will go. All I know is I want 2 legs, 1 leg, 2 leg, measured moves. I'm not going to pick a bottom on this because it may roll all the way back down again. What I'll do is use that classic failure. 1, 2, why 2? Trap the bears in, squeeze those stops. And remember, if you want to make more money, add to your winners with a technical bear trap pattern. Technical bear trap patterns are a higher high, move right below that low. So again, I love the idea of the bear trap, the crown reversal off of that low. I'll be looking for a bull trap to short back down again, but don't be surprised if it squeezes, exceeds the pendulum swings, and punches out to that high, then don't chase after it. Measured move, two-legged pullback. It's that failure into that trap combination. Remember, leave that runner into Friday afternoon. Now, I have a couple more trades I want to talk about, specifically going lower here, because we may end up going lower for tomorrow as well. Before we talk about that though, let's slow down for a second, because I know that a lot of you guys and gals watching right now, you know these patterns already. You know how to make money with crown reversals, traps, failure patterns. But if you're watching for the first time right now, this might be a brand new language for you, a brand new strategy. I want to teach you more about this. I teach the entire roadmap. I have hundreds of examples of failures, traps, crown reversals, range rotations. I teach the entire system here in our free video classes. I'll put a link up top here for you. Don't you worry. Upper right-hand corner, grab that link that popped up there and take that free trading course, because the strategy I teach in that short video series will teach you a simple trick we use in our members trade room that tells us where the winning trades are going to be each day. More importantly, I want to teach you my 4 favorite entry patterns, help you time better entries, start making more consistent money each day. Guys, the markets are way too good right now not to be making profits every morning. If you're tired of missing the best entries, if you've lost your confidence in your current trading strategy, again, hit that link that popped up there. Take that free video course. Everyone loves all the trade examples I include in that video series. It's perfect for anyone who's serious about making money in these markets. And don't forget too, guys, I'm going to put all the important links you'll need to learn more, description of the YouTube video. Definitely start first with the free video course. That link will be down there for you. Keep in mind too, we trade together every morning in our trade room, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'll put that link down in the description for you as well. And if you're on Twitter X, I post a lot of updates. I post charts and videos and mindset stuff on Twitter X. If you're on Twitter X, give me a follow. Again, all the details, all the links you'll need to learn more and hopefully earn a lot more will be linked in the description of that YouTube video. So that's where you can learn more about all the stuff I'm talking about here tonight. So where did we leave off? I covered 3 out of the 5 trades on my radar for tomorrow. That bear trap, that crown reversal below the low, the bull trap, right? Basically crown reversal off of the high. Remember, the most important thing is buying below swings, selling above swings. And again, if this thing slingshots and busts through, then it's a 2-legged pullback and a breakout from there. Now, I have one more bonus breakout on the Nasdaq in a moment. So if you like making money, I would definitely recommend you watch all the way to the end, because there's one other variation of that breakout pattern I think everyone should be ready for tomorrow. I'm going to cover that a bit later on in the video. So if you're serious about this stuff, don't go clicking off too soon here. I'm going to cover that here in a moment on the Nasdaq. First things first though, we get non-farm payrolls tomorrow morning. This could easily wind up gapping down, right? It could easily keep going lower here. Now, how do we trade this if it goes lower? If it goes lower, the most important thing to remember is don't chase after it. If it goes lower, we're already really low already. So once again, that range is your best friend. If it runs lower here into news tomorrow or tomorrow morning before the news comes out, the thing here now is we don't want to sell low. Whenever we want to sell high, we always look for that 2-legged pullback, right? So 1 leg, 2 leg, think about a measured move like I teach in the free video course. Again, I don't know how far that will go, but the goal would be, depending on how big that move down goes, we start using all of these prior support levels now as key areas of resistance, right? That's the goal here. The goal is don't chase after it. Get that 1 leg, two leg. And again, right, it could be here. I don't know. I don't know where it'll be. What I do know though is the formula is almost always the same. When we get a big move down, it's almost always a two-legged pullback and a retest of that low. So again, this may keep on running back up here. We'll talk about that here in a moment. My plan will be though, is on the move lower, trap those buyers in once, trap them in twice, right? Why twice? Because again, I want their stops. One thing you'll learn and you'll love about that free video course I mentioned earlier is I teach our students at SOT how to run stops. The easiest money, I think the easiest money you're gonna make in trading is catching traders on the wrong side of this 21 EMA. So once I have those buyers trapped in once, twice, now, if they fail, how do you get out of a long trade? You sell your way out, right? Back to that low. Now, here's a really cool, fun part about breakouts. So when it comes to breakouts, the size of the breakout leg is a measuring leg, okay? So for example, we know in this case that bears want to go back and take out that low. So on this, what I would call a failure pattern, we teach that stuff inside the free video classes. What I really want here is a failure and then add on to it, right, with a trap combination, lower low in price. I want to keep things as simple as possible. I can't teach everything on these videos, obviously, right? But the goal would be trap the buyers in above the moving average, 2 tries, lock in those stops, sell the stops. And then as it goes lower, I'm looking for that lower low in price, and it's a bull trap like I teach in the free video course. Now, in these scenarios, the bulk of the profit comes off at that low. But now remember, the size of this breakout leg becomes a measuring leg. So now once we know how big that breakout pullback is, now we know where that measured move is. Okay, now why is it important? Well, first of all, it makes a great runner target for us tomorrow. It also, too, if we know there's a measured move down there, is this a good place to sell? Please say no. Please, you should be saying no. The correct answer is no, right? We don't want to sell low, want to sell high. But I can almost guarantee you there'll be a lot of traders who don't watch my videos. They haven't learned this expensive lesson yet. We all have to pay our tuition on the market somehow. And these bears will come in and they'll sell right into it. If I can trap some bears in once, twice down. Remember, think about this at the low, at the measured move, right? So somewhere in this support area, horrible spot to be a seller. Think about now, if you're caught short, where's your pain? My first mentor, I will never forget this. My first mentor will say, Joe, think about where the pain is. Trade into their pain. This takes a bit of experience, but that's why I'm sharing this stuff with you guys here on these videos. And we'll do it, of course, in the trade room every morning at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Buy into that pain. Buy into that pain, right? Trap those bears in. Bad spot to be a seller. And remember, Fridays love to run. As it runs up, think about those trap patterns I teach. Technical trap patterns, right? A lot of what I do are traps, right? This is a bull trap up here, but what I call it a failure pattern, right? A failure pattern and a technical trap pattern. Again, this will make a lot more sense once you guys get into the free video course. So failure pattern into a technical, it's that separation off the moving average because separation equals strength, higher high in price, and a trap right there. All right, guys? So again, that is if we go lower, it's that two-legged pullback. Again, failure pattern, bull trap combination, back to that low, find that measured move and trap those rookies chasing after it, going lower. Those are 5 trades, a few bonus trades there. I'm watching whether we go higher or we go lower for tomorrow. Now, how about some Nasdaq? I promised you a bonus trade on the Nasdaq. What a move on the Nasdaq right now. Look at that beautiful expanding triangle, megaphone. Look at that range rotation, right? Ranges love to rotate. Incredible how the amount below, the amount above, it's almost like magic, right? How it works sometimes. Anyways, before we dive into this though, if you're enjoying this video right now, please help me grow this channel by hitting that like button, subscribing, and sharing this link with other trading buddies. Believe it or not, guys, That makes a big impact on my channel because YouTube rewards me every time you like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I know we're all busy people these days. I appreciate you spending a few minutes with me every evening on these video lessons. So thanks so much for the likes, subscribes, and all of your ongoing support. Now, let's get back to business here and talk about Nasdaq. We're definitely very bearish right now, but boy, oh boy, this is a tough spot to want to be selling down here, right? Is there any chance this could roll all the way back up again? There's a good chance, but that's a lot of momentum. That's a lot of momentum. That might not be easy. Let's go grab our tick charts here right now. On the 4,000 tick chart on the Nasdaq there, upper left-hand corner, big move down into a trading range. Now, for the most part, all the stuff we've talked about so far, again, I got one more bonus trade I'm going to share with you guys here on the Nasdaq. Remember, ranges love to rotate back and forth, right? Back and forth. So as we go lower, it's always those bear traps, buying as low as I can, right? Underneath swing lows. As we go higher, it's always those bull traps, lower low, trap above that high. It's always going to be in this scenario right now until we get through tomorrow and kind of get this volatility calmed down a little bit. It'll always be bear traps buying below lows, bull traps selling above the highs. And again, like I mentioned earlier here on the S&P, right? If this thing was to hold, for example, and really blast, right? Really blast running higher. We've broken through the pendulum swing. We're jumping and separating off that moving average. These are scenarios now where we can look for that two-legged pullback, right? That breakout pullback off that low. And remember, we're not going to blindly buy that bottom. We don't blindly do anything. We always wait to trap traders on the wrong side of that 21 EMA, get those bears trying once, get them trying twice. And again, in this scenario, we've got clear evidence of a breakout. We've gone through any pendulum swings. So this is not range rotation. This is a breakout scenario. It's a 1-2, trap those bears in, failure into trap, combination, running higher. Remember too, right? Breakout leg, measuring leg, leave that run. If you want to make more money, get better at staying patient and letting your winners run. And patience is much easier when you have a roadmap to work with. That's why I do these lessons for myself and for you the night before. It's so much easier to trade your plan when you plan your trades the night before. At least it is for me. Now, let's talk one more bonus trade right here, okay? Because oftentimes what happens is, especially Nasdaq right now, we're at the low of that big, right, of that big wedge, the expanding triangle you have right there. We may get that run lower. We may get that bear trap, and it may squeeze, and we may not get that two-legged pullback, right? Oftentimes we don't get it. Oftentimes what happens is it pops up and it begins to grind. Now, I got so many emails from you guys this week making money with these pop and grinds. How much do we love the pop and grind? If you love the pop and grind as much as I do, give me a comment in the comment section. Give me a hashtag, pop and grind, favorite dance move. I know you guys love that stuff in our trade room. All kidding aside though, remember, the minute the stuff begins to separate and grind off that moving average like that. And again, we've gone well through the pendulum swing. Clearly a breakout of that trading range. The hardest part about these situations is don't chase after it. We want to buy as low as we can. To do that now, I'm going to mark a trend line off the highs. I'm going to bring that trend line down around those big lows. And what do we always say? Look left. Find some of these prior swings. My goal is I want to find one of these prior swing levels that lines up around that low of that channel. Then I wait for the pullback. Once I get the pullback now, I can use a bear trap pattern below that prior swing. I can use a failure pattern underneath that 21 EMA. I can use a pullback combination. It's all part of the price action cycle like I teach in the free video course. So any of the entry patterns you guys are learning right now in the free video series can be applied on that first test is the best test. Now, one very important thing about pop and grinds is the pop leg is the measuring leg. Okay, makes sense? The pop leg is the measuring leg. So you measure that big spike leg, you then know where it pulls back right here. And again, you want to make more money, get better at holding on to your winners. And of course, having a game plan like this on a Friday morning is more than half the battle. That pop and grind is an option. But again, I want to remind one more time here, we run up, 1, 2, back down again. It's only if they pull back and keep it going, right? They have to hold that pullback, all right? I'm not looking at this until we see that break and continuation going higher here. And again, as I mentioned earlier here on the S&P, right? We get non-farm payrolls tomorrow. If this thing just gets crushed and runs down, now we know the underbelly of that trading range is our best friend, right? We look for that two-legged pullback. Think about a measured move, as I teach in the free video series. And again, this may keep on rolling, right? It may keep on rolling. I'm not going to pick a top on that, but if I start seeing these buyers struggling right there, right now, I know their stops are going to be asking for it. Run back down again and again. Breakout leg, measuring leg, that so you can go out and grab those double bottom and squeeze those bears, that failure, and squeeze it back up again. Now, what would happen? Here's a bonus scenario to give you a reward for watching all the way to the end right now. I love you guys and I appreciate you watching these videos every evening. It means a lot to me to stick around all the way to the end. What if we ran lower here and then boing right back up again? What if it just ripped V bottom off that low? What would you do in that situation? Let's see if you're paying attention. Yes, right, draw the trend line off those lows because you know what's happening right now. You know that's your range. You know that the amount below, the amount above. Is this starting to make sense? All right, can I get a hashtag light bulb moment in the comment section below? All the folks doing that are the real OGs on this YouTube channel. You know now where the market wants to go right now, right? So now that V bottoms off that low, this could easily happen tomorrow. It's non-farm freaking Friday tomorrow. Anything's possible. It easily V bottom off that low. If it V bottoms off that low, we don't chase after it. We mark off that high, mark off that low. And what do we always say? First test is the best test. Off of that low, I'll tell you, this could be a really, really big winning trade for the buyers tomorrow because now as this thing wants to rotate here, my goodness, that could be a huge runner. And I'll tell you right now, if we do get a big move down that evaporates off that low like that, be very careful selling up here because now all that momentum will make it very difficult to run back down again, right? As these get wider, that momentum begins to make it more likely for a breakout. So as it runs higher, it's got to be that one, that lower low, that two, that bull trap, right? I mean, literally in this example, it has to be that bull trap because the odds of this keep going here are very high at that point because the larger this rotation gets, the more that momentum builds and the more likely it is it keeps on going in that direction, especially because we're at major support on the 60. Man, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about this stuff right now. I hope you guys are excited for tomorrow as much as I am. That's the game plan for tomorrow. And I know I covered a lot of scenarios. I apologize. I want to keep things as simple as possible, but I don't have a crystal ball. Nobody knows what tomorrow will bring, but now you guys have a game plan, whether you're a bull or a bear, to make some moolah. Don't forget, guys, the easiest way to make money in these markets is to learn and trade along every morning in our trade room. I'm going to put all the important links you'll need to learn more and hopefully earn a bunch more in the description of the video. Start first on the free video classes. Let us know any trouble getting started and hope you learned a bunch tonight. Hope you earn a bunch tomorrow and hopefully I'll see you sometime soon trading with me in the morning trade room as a member. In the meantime, guys, be well out there. A very happy Halloween. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe, please. And we'll see you guys next time. Adios, amigos. Bye for now.